We had an opportunity at the University of North Texas to hire someone in traditional artists to come here as part of our faculty, a unique opportunity provided by the provost. And I contacted a good friend of mine, David Locke, who's a professor at Tufts University, good friend of Gideon's, and we talked, and he said, absolutely, the person we should get is Gideon Foli Alorwoyie. So we called Gideon up. He came down and did a performance for us at the Meyerson, the Rhythms of the World performance, and just knocked everybody out, not only with his great drumming, but his engaging personality and his deep and thorough knowledge of the tradition that he works with. It was quite impressive, and we hired him right away.
And that performance was in Dallas, with some kind of theater. Because I came here, I was the person they put in here for 5 days to train the students within 3 days and perform with them. That was during my interview. That's how I ended up getting the position.
People don't expect that there would be like white girls who are interested in dancing in an African ensemble. An example comes to mind. We were in South Korea last October for a drum festival, and there was an Australian Aborigine group, and we were kind of all staying in the same hotel, and they were out and we were having breakfast or something. And we were like, yeah, you know, you guys are the Australian Aborigine group. We're the African ensemble. And they're like, no, you're not. And we're like, yeah, we are. From UNT, the African ensemble. And they looked at Teresa and they were like, well, I could see how she would be in the African ensemble, but none of you other guys. And we were all like white kids, you know, which is understandable. I mean, we're UNT students, you know, we're here because we love the music, we love dancing to it, we love, you know, performing it. And so I don't think that race or background or anything should be an issue, but it is.
Anytime I see his group composed of white students, black students, and even Asian students, I'm very impressed because they are doing something I can't even do because I don't know that much about it. So going back to Africa, to the roots, I think that he's doing a great job and teaching people who are not very aware of this culture, teaching them how to play drums. I was very surprised the way they play because it was kind of very, very accurate. You feel like you are somewhere in an African village.
That's the good work Professor is doing, because it's not easy to speak the African language, and it's not easy to beat the African drums.
His teaching was definitely different from all my other teachers. I did dance before coming to college as well, since I was a little kid, but it was mainly Western music, ballet and jazz and modern dance and that kind of thing. And everything in that kind of dancing is instructed, and you have to count, and you have a lot of repetition with the movements when the teacher's showing you. But Gideon just dances one time, he just shows it to you, he doesn't even count. There's no counting a lot in the African music from what I've understood from being in that class.
I don't think his teaching is very conventional. Dancing in previous times, it was very structured, very choreographed. Not that African ensemble isn't choreographed, but just in its own way. It was, there was 8 counts, it was really directional, it was, you know, very organized. And that was an adjustment, dancing for the ensemble, because it's just kind of like the way the music is, it's like a call and response. So the teachers, whoever's dancing is calling, you know, it's kind of like they're performing this and you watch them and you're responding. So that's the way you learn. It's a give and take. It's not like, okay, this is how you do it, and now 5, 6, 7, 8, we're doing it. It was very free form, and It's kind of an adjustment at first when you're used to a very structured way of dancing.
We don't ever have to do any papers necessarily, I mean, at all, not even necessarily. He gave us, he's given us packets with the words to songs that we sing. And I mean, I guess it's a very practical class in that, you know, like our classes are practice for our performances, you know, so like what we do is dance. And I mean, we've learned about it mostly through experience. Like there are certain dances that he's explained to us what they mean, and like we've picked up on them that way. But I mean, even when he doesn't, you know, it's like just doing it, you kind of get like a feel for it and an understanding of it.
This program somehow come around close to me right now. The first thing I always do for them is to learn the language of the sound of the drum. In that way, they can hear it and do it. So that's what I took all of them step by step. So we all sing the song of the drum. In other words, what I call the rhythm patterns and vocables. So I tell them the jajan, jajan. Everybody say jajan, jajan. And then you do what jajan, jajan means.
I really enjoyed myself and just go out there and just do what I can and just have a lot of fun. There's a lot more free reign on the African dance. It's more involving of everything in, instead of just specific movements. You get to have a lot, add your own little special movements into the African dancing.
When Africans didn't have all these modern ways of communicating, I believe the king or the chief of the village will send out people, and they will have specific drums that, you know, they play to convey messages to the people. So I guess people were used to, you know, hearing messages from the chief of the village through drums, and depending on how the drums were played, they understood the messages that were behind them.
Gideon will complain about this. Often the young drummers who play don't really know what they're saying when they play, because these drums talk. And they talk about deep stuff in Ewe life, deep proverbs, histories, etc. And Gideon knows these traditions not only as a performer, but as a priest. He knows the rituals. He knows the history of the shrines. And he has access to knowledge that outsiders and even people within Ewe society, they just don't have.
First of all, that is the way to give the child a name, to belong to the clan that he belongs to, and what the family we want him to be. That is the only way. That's why when the child was born, she never they never bring them out. Outdoor internet is a serious thing. That's why we don't keep children in a room for like 24 or 25 days, except if the child is born sick. The whole name of baby is Shine Gamali, Foli Ali Alorwoyie. Being a traditional priest in Ghana is not a priest. It's not something that you want it to be. You might be taken or chosen by the Spirit God to be initiated to be a priest.
Yeah, whenever he got inducted from Midao to Torgbuie, which happened last summer, I think, he came back with a tape that showed us like this huge ceremony, you know, and it was like a really big deal. Like there were all these rituals and there were all of these people, and I mean, it was clearly like a huge moment of respect. And I'm not entirely sure like what all the titles are, but you know, I mean, I know he's important, and like just all of the connections he even has here and all of the respect he gets here. I mean, like he's always out of town talking to people. He's always booking performances with people. I mean, he's got a picture of President Clinton on his wall.
In America here, I don't put myself to be a chief. If I go home, there the people follow me to know who I am. And if you come there, you say you are looking for me, you know how difficult it will take you to come and see me. And they will tell you what kind of things you have to do before you even enter my palace or even to enter the room that I am. Here in America, who cares? I don't come here to play chieftaincy. That's what the work I come to do. That's what I'm here for. Apart from that, when I'm home, I can deal with my priestship. I can deal with my chieftaincyship. Then I can deal with my social, my own group as my cultural group.
Well, I hope that I'll always have a connection with Gideon and a relationship, even if I move on and go somewhere else and I'm not in Denton anymore. And I think I will, because I just think his personality. Once you're friends, once you're like know Gideon, you'll always know Gideon. And I think I'll take my experiences here and just the fact of learning just this unique thing that I've just been like kind of privileged to have.
I think before this class, I wasn't comfortable going out and shaking my booty, you know, but we call it booty shaking class, and so that's what we do. And I've just gotten a lot more expressive with myself and free. A lot of the other students are like that as well.
After Gideon, oh boy, that will be a hard one. He's irreplaceable, there's no doubt about it, and I'm hoping he's going to postpone his retirement for many years to come.
I'm really glad that I can be a part of it, and just all of the energy that goes into that and all of the feeling that goes into that. I mean, it's definitely palpable, and it's really exciting. It's great. I love it.
You know, I promise the UNT once I get here, I will retire here. So nobody can confuse me with money to leave UNT for more money and blah, blah, blah. No, that I'm not going to accept it. I'll just finish my work here, from here back home.